Oh boy, it's time to make a YouTube video today. I guess I have no choice. So I really wanted to put Shinonuma somewhere on this list, and maybe 5 isn't the right spot for it. Maybe it should have been higher up or something like that. I don't know. It's just really hard for me to figure out where to put Shinonuma on this list, and it mainly has to do with when this map came out. And I know I shouldn't do this when I'm comparing the most beautiful maps, but it's really hard to ignore the graphical differences in the older maps from BO1 or World at War and even BO2, comparing that to BO3 and BO4 and really all the other zombies maps. And I know it's because they're on different consoles that are way more powerful compared to the other, and if they came out about the same time, then they would probably be in I guess a fairer spot to compare them graphically wise, and that's why you shouldn't really put graphics into all of this. But it's really hard for me to do that, and I just cannot convince myself for almost any maps to convince myself that a map that came out on BO1, BO2, or even World at War looks better than the map that came out on BO3 or BO4. Except for Shinonuma. Shinonuma is the one map that I really think that you can put in the same, I guess, talk around the best looking maps, even comparing them to, of course, our BO3 and all the next gen console maps. And I think it's just such an amazing map for so many different reasons. And one is because it was our very first greenly vegetated map, and it's just a whole new atmosphere that it gave to us, which was really cool. Because if you think about the maps that came out, I guess alongside or in the same time frame as Shinonuma, you had yourself Nocturne Toten, then after that you had Verrucht, and of course after that is Shinonuma. But then after Shinonuma came out was the Rize, and then even if you want to look further after that, it'd be of course 5 and Kinorden Toten, and all those maps just aren't the same compared to Shinonuma. Shinonuma is so unique in its way that the green vegetation, I guess, is just so unique, and it just gives such a cool atmosphere to it. And even if you ask me, I don't think even Shangri-La captured the real, I guess, of green vegetation feel to it that Shinonuma did, and that's why you could easily put this as a better looking map than, of course, Shangri-La. So I don't know if I'm putting the Rising Rocket too high, or even if it should be on this list, just because I may have this feeling that I just personally love the Rising Rocket so much that I just found a way to put it on a top 5 list relating to zombies. And that may play a part in it, just in my bias of how much I like the map in pretty much every way. But at the same time, I do feel like it's one of those maps that are just really unique for Call of Duty, because the more I think about the Rising Rocket and the more I try to convince myself not to put it on this list, the more I just think no, it has to end up somewhere on this list, and it has to do with where it's placed. And it's just, again, one of those unique places that really we haven't seen before. And unlike Shinonuma, it never really happened again, because if you remember where the Rising Rocket is actually set, it's actually set on the Alps. So this is a frozen mountain in the middle of winter, and I don't think we've ever had a map like that before that really was like this. And on top of that, just the feel of this castle that is stuck in the mountains, and of course Group 935 shows up and turns it into their own facility for their rockets to get to the moon and all that stuff. It's just a really unique setting, and I just really like it for so many different reasons, but this is one of them. I don't know, personally I really like it, and I just think it's one of the cooler and more beautiful maps because of that, just how unique it was in its way. And I know this isn't the most unique maps list, it's supposed to be the most beautiful zombies these maps list, and I get that, but uniqueness really plays a part into a lot of my opinions of the beauty of it, because a lot of maps look beautiful, but if they are just kind of playing on the same setting or same idea, it's not really going to stand out to me as much, and they're going to just kind of get drowned out without all the other noises. And that's kind of the reason why I'm playing the uniqueness of these maps so high, because I do think they are actually, it's really important to making your map really stand out as a beautiful map. Zetsubou No Shima is a very interesting map, and it's a map that not many people are a fan of, but me personally, I like the map a lot, and of course that really has nothing to do with the beauty of the map, but the reason I put it right here, especially at the spot of 3 on this list, is just because of its lighting. I don't think we have another map, even till this day, that has figured out the lighting to how it interacts with the environment around you so well. I mean, just how cool the lighting is done in this map is just really breathtaking. I remember seeing the first time when I played Zetsubou No Shima, and I went to go look at the sun through the clouds, and you could see the light rays going through it, passing between the branches, and it would only pass through obviously where the branches were not. And when you saw the light rays, I just was really awestruck with how beautiful they can make the lighting in this map. And what I liked even more is that the map is very green, because there's covered by vegetation. I mean, that's the whole idea of Zetsubou No Shima. And why that is so important is not only do I feel like they nailed it so well, just the green look of everything, but on top of that, with the lighting being so nice, just makes it stand out. And what I really like is that there's a green tint to all the lighting. You look at the lighting, it's just not some, I guess, yellow light or white light. It's actually tinted green, just like how light works in real life. If you shine it on something, it'll reflect a different color, or it'll reflect the color it's bouncing off of course, if it can reflect. And they nail this perfectly in Zetsubou No Shima, and that's what really made this map stand out for me, because at first I was thinking that, yeah, this is cool, but I mean, we already have Shinonuma. But after seeing how well they deal with lighting in this map, it was just really breathtaking. Like I said, it's just a really beautiful map just based on the lighting alone. And I also do like very much how the vegetation is trying to grow over you, and gives this feeling that the vegetation is trying to swallow you in, just like I imagine they were going for, especially in the early spawn rooms and rooms just right after that. And I just really like that. So the giant holds a very special place in my heart personally, and that's for a couple different reasons that I'm not going to get into here. But when I say the giant as our number 2 spot on this list, it's not just the giant really. I also do combine this with Derize, and the reason I say that is because I don't know if you guys saw this, but if you ever play World at War on PC, you could actually see how beautiful Derize itself could look. It is just such a beautiful map on both of them, on of course the original PC version on World at War, and even of course on the BO3 version of the Giant. And one thing that really makes the Giant slash Derize stand out, and I think Derize does this a little bit better than of course the Giant, but I really do like the Eclipse. I like how it's just how it looks during Eclipse. It's dark, but it's not night dark, and I really do like that, and that's just is something I really like, and I think it's just a perfect setting for it. And I also like it in the Giant where they added the snow to it. You see snow around the map that just kind of adds to that isolation of this map, because the isolation that of course the Eclipse adds is cool enough, because it lets you know that this is not something that normally always happens and you don't really see much around it. But then of course the snow inside the Giant really makes it stand out even more, and that's why I like the beauty of this map so much. And that's not even talking about all of the different sound cues you get during the Giant. I think the Giant does this better than any other map ever. I can just think about when I was playing this map when Black Ops 3 first came out and just going around the map, just listening to the sounds of the map. So if you guys have been keeping up with my channel lately, you would know that this really isn't a surprise to say that my favorite looking map of all time in zombies is Dead of the Night. And that's not only because of recency bias or anything like that. Trust me, there's a lot of things I personally don't like about the map, and I'm not going to pretend are great about it. But of course, this also has to do with this weird thing that I personally have, that I'm just this, unlike Jason Blundell, I'm not a sucker for medieval castles, but I am a sucker for this, I guess, early 1900s / late 1800s, this classical look to it. I just love that look so much, and this map just captures it perfectly. When you see the marble all around the map, you see the water glowing blue, there's just so much about this map that I just think just nails it. It's just such a beautiful map, and I just cannot get over it. I love so much about it. I even love how they capture the graveyard area. It's just like, you look at everything around this map and I feel like it's all captured so well, especially when you go into just all the different areas, and considering how different these areas should normally be and how it transitions so well to them, and they're all done so well. It's mind-boggling to me that Treyarch was able to capture this all over again, and I would say to the best of their abilities that I've seen so far, and I really like that. And there's just so much I like about the map, especially the main hall and where Danu is, the main hall entrance I think it's called. When you just see those two rooms, it's just jaw-dropping. That's all I could really say about it. And again, maybe that's just because of me, because like I said, I'm a sucker for this classical look, but I'm not going to talk about it too much here because I made a video specifically on the beauty of course, this map of Dead of the Night. So if you guys want to see more of what I think about it, you go ahead and click on that video. It should be on screen right now, but that's really all I could say about it.